Hi, it is Anika, and I'm here to discuss my 3-month carnivore update. And it is so exciting because I can truly say that the longer I do this diet or this way of eating, the better I feel. And let's just jump right into it. So the first thing that I want to discuss is my weight loss. I continue to lose weight. For this month, I've lost a total of 4 pounds, which has brought my grand total for the 3-month period to 15 pounds, which is not bad at all. And of course, I feel like I'm continuing to lean out. And last month I went down a size, and this month I could tell that I'm like borderline now to the size below that. So it's just really interesting to see how I continue to move in the direction that I want to go in terms of just leaning out and losing weight. Now, I will say this, there was 1 week though where the scale started going up, and that was because I was having a grand old time eating cheese like all week. I don't even remember what was going on, but I just had a cheese fest, and I gained like 3 to 4 pounds. Now, a lot of that I know was inflammation, because as soon as I cut the cheese out, within a day or within 2 days or so, the scale went back down. And I feel like this is what I really enjoy, one of the things that I really enjoy about the carnivore diet, because you remove so many things from your diet, you're really able to hone in on what your body is like. No, we don't like this at all. So it's not that I didn't know that cheese and I were not best friends. I'm just really seeing that at a greater level, how much I really need to minimize it. So after that little experiment and just seeing what happened and even how I was feeling, I have just been so mindful. And actually, I don't think I've had dairy since then. So, and it's not to say that I'll never eat it. I'm just so mindful right now about like consuming too much dairy. So the next thing that I want to talk about is my energy level. And I did a video on that recently because I just felt like I needed to do a whole separate video, because I was blown away at like just how my energy was just consistently high throughout the day. I don't remember anything that I have done where I have just consistently felt such high levels of energy. Now, it's not to say that when I was doing keto OMAD that I didn't have energy. I did, but this has just gone to a whole nother level, and it's consistently like that. Now, I will say that at the end of the day, I am exhausted because I go because I have the energy to do it. So it's not like all the way up until bed I still feel like doing like, cartwheels, at least in my mind, because I can't do a real cartwheel. But it's a good feeling because I'm so productive throughout the day. So I don't want to like give this false sense that it's like 24 hours where I'm just like, woo, bouncing off the walls. But throughout the day, my energy is very high. And at the end of the day, because I am human, I get tired. And at that point, I know it's time for me to go to bed, which I go to bed at that point. So definitely high energy. And I have to keep on stressing this because I feel like I almost threw in the towel the first month because I felt awful, at least the first half of the month, the first month that I was doing it. And I want to say to you that if you are at that stage where you're just feeling super lethargic, to hang on, because truly at some point in time your body adapts and the energy level does definitely kick in. And I want to remind you to just do the salt, put some salt on your hand, lick it up or whatever, mix it in with some water, and make sure you drink water with it to kind of chase that salt down. Wait a few minutes, and that should help with the energy level. I don't buy any additional electrolytes. I get that from my salt, and that is it. So I just want to encourage you to just stick with it if your energy is low. I'm just telling you, at least for me, that I definitely have seen a huge improvement in my energy level. The next thing that I want to talk about is my sleep. When I put my head on that pillow at night, like I am out. And it's not that I didn't have good sleep before, but again, this has just gone to another level. I have such sound sleep. So that has been really, really wonderful. And I can't stress enough the need to get an adequate amount of sleep, because it just really helps to enhance the carnivore diet. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about is cravings. And when I was doing keto OMAD before switching to the carnivore diet, I would still use sweeteners such as Fiber Yum and even stevia. Stevia was really my go-to. And I would say that my cravings weren't really out of control, but sometimes when I would use those sweeteners, I would, have a little craving for something sweet. However, I have noticed that since I've been doing the carnivore diet, that's not something that is present, because I'm obviously not using stevia except for the occasional Xavier that I may drink here and there. And that really isn't something that I have consistently. And really thinking about it, I don't think I had any this month at all. What I've been doing now is drinking unsweetened, unflavored, carbonated water, and that has been so good. It's just amazing how your palate changes as time goes on. So I don't have cravings for like anything sweet. Now, let me just say, it's not that, if people are around me and they're eating a piece of cake or a cookie, that I'm never like, oh, that looks good. I'm not saying that I'm blind, and sometimes I'm like, man, that would be nice to kind of have a little piece, but it's not like this overwhelming sense of, oh, I'm really missing out and I really, really want a piece. Like, that's definitely not there, but I'm not blind. So I don't want to give this false sense of, oh yes, I just don't even see sweets. I don't even notice it, because I do, but the craving is definitely not there to the point of, okay, I just really need this right now, and I'm not feeling deprived in any way. If anything, I notice that I'm like, sometimes when I get hungry, I'm thinking like, man, I can't wait to have my lamb chops. Like, I am just like super craving things like that now. And it's even interesting because liver, I don't mind. I actually enjoy it, but it's not something where before I was like, oh, I just want to eat liver every day. And now I notice that, like, I look forward to eating liver, and I've been making liver pate, which has been so good. Like yesterday I had it for breakfast, and I was thinking like, ooh, I know I already had some liver today, but I want some more. So, I don't think that this is gonna last forever. It's just at different points, I guess my body craves different things, but it's just interesting how the cravings have definitely shifted, and I'm not overwhelmed with this idea or feeling deprived in some way. All right, let's talk about this bathroom situation. Definitely, I could say 3 months in. I was a bit concerned month 1 and some of month 2, but I can say right now, I feel like I have found a rhythm, and that is definitely no longer an area of concern for me. So I just think that my body has adjusted, and all is well in that department. So that's pretty exciting. Another thing that I really like about the carnivore diet is just the simplicity of it all, because all that you are eating is meat. It just takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. Even though I was doing OMAD before, I would consider, okay, what sides am I going to incorporate with this, and am I going to make a special bread to go with my hamburger? Like, what sauce do I want? Like, none of that. I don't have to really think that through. And as opposed to me feeling restricted, it's almost kind of freeing in a strange sense. Like, I actually prefer this approach, and I will say that the first month it did feel more restrictive, but now I think my mindset has totally changed, and it's more freeing now. Like, okay, this is what I'm gonna eat, and I am good. I don't have to worry about any of these other things. And it's just really interesting because in my 2-month update, I made the point that going forward, I was going to eat vegetables if I felt like I needed it. And I honestly, the third month, I haven't felt the need. I think we went out one time and I ended up having like a burger wrapped in lettuce, but it hasn't, which I'm kind of surprised because I really thought that, okay, you've given yourself the permission. I thought that I would perhaps incorporate more vegetables, and I really haven't, and my body doesn't seem to mind not having it. And I feel like I'm gonna continue to have this approach going forward. I'm so careful not to say that, oh, I will never let a piece of lettuce touch these lips, or I will never have a piece of avocado. I'm careful not to say that because I don't know. I'm just going according to how my body is feeling it. And if at some point in time I feel like, you know what, we really need this, then I'll go ahead, or even desire, we'll go ahead and incorporate it. But I feel like the longer I go, the less I desire eating those things, especially avocado. That one is really surprising to me because I used to have an avocado just about every single day, and now I still buy them for my family, but I don't necessarily have the desire to eat it. But should the desire ever pop up, then I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to consume it. So speaking of eating out, that's another thing that I am really liking about the carnivore diet. Like, eating out is something that is not something that I push for. Like, in the past when we would eat out, I'd be like, oh yeah, I get a break from the kitchen. Now I'm just like, I am okay, we could stay home and eat. Because for me, I'm like, by the time I tell you don't put this, don't put that, can you only put salt, by the time I do all that and you bring it out and I spent all this money, it's hard for me to justify in my mind that I could have done this at home for like half the price. And I know that's the case generally for eating out, but when you are like really taking away pretty much everything except for the meat, it makes it a harder pill to swallow. Like the other day, my husband and I went out on a date, and I told him, I said, we could eat at home and then find something else to do. Like, we don't have to go to a restaurant. And he was like, okay, fine. So I cooked something for me and him, and we ate before we left. And the added bonus was the money that we could have used, that we would have used in eating out. We did some window shopping, and I ended up finding this like blazer type jacket in my new size that was significantly discounted. It came from $129 and I got it for $23. Story has nothing to do with the carnivore update, but I just had to share that. I was so excited about that little find. So in any case, it's just been good for me, the carnivore diet, and it's something that I just want to encourage you. If you're on the fence, is it extreme? Yes, initially it does seem super extreme, but I have no regrets starting it. And at any point, if my body begins to tell me that, okay, we're good, then I'll stop. But right now, I'm not getting those signals from my body, so I am going to continue. So I shall see you next month with any other updates that I may have. All right, you be blessed.